If you give me 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I can give you 7 degrees of Jesus Garza and somehow get you back to Jesus Garza on pretty much a lot of what's good in Austin, Texas.
Well, Jesus always had as his true north, are we serving the community effectively?
He is as pure a leader as you can get.
He's the kind of guy that would drive a Volkswagen and wear a suit from Penny's. While he managed at that point, about a $2 billion budget and about 12,000 employees, and did it humble, salt of the earth kind of guy.
Well, you've got to remember that Jesus is the ultimate public servant.
I first met Jesus Garza back in 1991. The Texas Water Commission was looking to hire a new executive director, and they hired this young guy named Jesus Garza.
We started the planning, which led eventually to securing Austin's water future for the next 100 years.
He was instrumental in assuring that we have the kind of water supply that we need to have. But he soon thereafter became city manager for the city of Austin.
He was a city manager for whom every section of the city was his concern.
He was pragmatic. He's a nuts and bolts guy.
Anybody that had ever worked for Jesus, whether it was a frontline employee or the top executive officer, could always call him up, talk to him.
Right away, I was able to connect with Jesus, and he has been, frankly, a mentor and a sounding board for me since I started. It's been really important for me to have that relationship with a former city manager.
You would meet with Jesus, you would get a straight answer from him. It may not be the answer you wanted, but he would be straight with you. And he'd actually almost make you feel okay about the fact that he was telling you no, which is really kind of sneaky when you think about it.
Another good example of Jesus's ability to get things done in an imaginative way is the revitalization of downtown.
20 years ago, downtown was basically a desert, and look at it now. It's completely revamped, and it started with Jesus Garza and those folks that were there at that time.
And it was Jesus and his professional team that was able to figure out how we would build a city hall to create a retail opportunity that ultimately became the 2nd Street Retail District.
I don't recall how many times I'll be in an airplane coming into Austin and hear the person on the row in front of me, the row behind me, talking about what a great airport it is. And when I hear that, I think Jesus Garza. He took that project and made it happen and did so in a way that will be remembered for Austin for years.
Anytime you walk through the airport, you ought to be saying a quiet thanks to Jesus Garza. In order to get that project to come in the way it did, what that takes is somebody that is a professional manager. And Jesus, he was on point for all of that.
Well, I think the biggest accomplishment of Jesus to lift up is the role he took in helping Brackenridge become part of the Seton system when he was the city manager.
His real reasoning behind it is that that was our public hospital. And if we weren't able to have health care available to the poor and the vulnerable, then he didn't think our community was really doing its job.
The role that he played in making sure that we have now a world-class, modern 21st century teaching hospital, helping us craft how that would interact with the new Dell Medical School at the University of Texas at Austin and with Central Health.
Every time I was at the city hall with Jesus, and 20 people would come up to Jesus and thank him for the good work that he did as a city manager.
He set a foundation in place. There's nowhere you can drive in this city you're not going to see his legacy.
The truth of the matter is, I could not have been mayor of Austin without Jesus Garza helping me understand city government. Frankly, Jesus Garza is the perfect candidate, the perfect winner of the Austinite of the Year award, because so much of Austin has his blood, sweat, and tears in it.